Faith is defined in the dictionary as belief that is not based on proof. Well, the only book that's quoted during a Sunday morning service is the dictionary. It's a pretty good indicator that you might be in a UU church. I'm all in favor, by the way. I think it is a wise decision to include more religiously familiar language in our services. I won't be doing that today, but I am very much in favor of it. It always surprises me when I hear someone criticizing either people of faith for having faith or the concept of faith itself. Some people are really hung up on proof and will tell anyone who will listen that belief that is not based on proof is foolish. But these same people always appear to believe and conduct their lives as though they're certain that they're going to be alive this time next month, certainly this time tomorrow. And how is that not faith, a belief that is not based on proof? I understand that it's more likely than not that I will be alive this time tomorrow, but I also recognize that as faith on my part. It's not actually provable until it happens. Quoting dictionaries is not the only noticeable difference in our churches between us and others. From what I've seen in other religious communities, one way that we're very different is how we deal with people who are in crisis. I have a lot of friends from widely diverse religious and spiritual backgrounds, and sometimes when tragedy has struck the lives of one of these friends, like when a parent or a spouse dies, something really terrible, I have seen the religious community swoop in to offer comfort. But what I've seen too many times is that their version of offering comfort is to remind the person who's in crisis what it is their religion says about the situation. And they kind of lean on these people in a way it's like, I believe this and so do you, right? So, what our religion says is true. We all believe this, right? It's like they're using that person's tragedy to bolster everyone's faith. I've seen that several times, and it's just made me cringe every time. Contrast that with UUs. When my mom died, this community swooped in to offer me comfort. But how you all did that was to offer to set up tables and chairs at the memorial service and sing in the choir. People offered to clean my kitchen and do my grocery shopping. Everybody came at me with an attitude that said, how can I help you the way that you need to be helped? That was wonderfully comforting while it was all happening. But looking back on it now, I'm proud that that's the community that I belong to, and that is how we help each other deal with tragedy. What got me started thinking about all of this is that 4 years ago, a couple weeks ago, was the 4-year anniversary of my mother's passing. And the day before that would have been my father's 80th birthday. So I've been thinking about my parents and their epically troubled relationship that did not last. I've been thinking about my father's experience of marriage and my own experience of marriage. And they're both perfect examples of this idea. I don't know who to credit this to. I couldn't find a name, but I've never forgotten it. Somebody once said, over the course of your married life, you either have a few different marriages with a few different people, or you have a few different marriages with the same person. Most of my adult life has been spent in a relationship with my husband. At this point, I would say we're starting our third marriage to each other. Seriously, we as individuals and we as a couple and our lives together today are startlingly different than when we met during the first Bill Clinton administration. And I'm not referring in any way to the multiple wills and trusts and power of attorneys that we've had, or the 3 separate domestic partnership agreements that we had to enter into, or finally, our legal marriage license. I mean that our relationship is vastly different today than it was in its beginning. But it's still something that we both want, and it's still something that we're both proud of. I am firmly convinced, I have faith, that Unitarian Universalism can grow and change in startling ways and still be something that we all want, and still be something that we're all proud of. And if you'll stick around for a few minutes, that's what I'm going to try to talk about today.